Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Duggan and we are in Satisfactory today. We're going to jump right in because I have been announcing all of the announcements all week long and there's nothing new. The podcasts are out there, the social media is out there. Most of the people here know who I am by now, and I'm really excited to get back into the game and start to move on with the Ficsite ingots and the Ficsite Trigons. Is going to be our next phase. SweetSandi, Dan Grace, good to see you. Big head face kicking around. Hope you're all having a good Friday so far. I was out with the boys at the pub last night. It was a good time. Nice relaxing way to roll into a Friday, even though it was a Thursday night. Good times had by all. Actually, I saw Stephen ESC and Alistair McFly and James, the civilian, last night. So several members of the Citadel Cafe Holiday Roundtable all in one spot. I think the only people missing were Ryan Murphy and Lou, and they don't live in Canada. Well, they don't live in Nova Scotia. Ryan lives in Canada, but not anywhere nearby. Cosmic Dancer subscribing at tier 3, 81 months. Not feeling the best today, says Cosmic. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, Cosmic. So we'll lurk and leave this in my place. Thanks very much, Cosmic. You'll notice I didn't read your whole message, because the rest of the message is BS. So you've been told. Foot down. And thanks for the lurk. I really appreciate it. Hope you're feeling better soon. No. I don't know what I just continued. I meant to load the game. I'm assuming it's going to load my latest save. We'll see. Sandy, what color is the light behind me? Just out of curiosity, just to make sure you're not colorblind. This looks right. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's right. So we need to make these things, but we need to make them not here. And we need to make them with not Ethereum. We need to make them with reanimated SAM, but also iron. And the ratio for that is 240 iron ingots per minute. So basically we're just going to grab all the iron that's over on the other side there and bring it in and turn it into Ficsite ingots, I think. Probably what's going to happen. And then the reanimated SAM will also add in over here. So I was thinking that it might be nice to do it somewhere in this space. We had left this area here available for... This space is available for vertical stuff. That has to stay there. But we have all this space here to work with, so I feel like this is probably a good place to start. So there'll be a little bit of design today, working out what we need to do. I think this has to change. I don't remember if I was leaving 2 of those or just the 1. I think maybe just the 1. So this wall is kind of arbitrary. Need to be here. And I don't know whether we want to do this on the basement floor or if we want to go higher with it. But none of this needs to be here. If I was going to delineate any space, it would be probably this area here. I feel like we could probably just put down a border. And I would also probably think that we would want to do like a deep wall here, just to make sure we have room to move things if we need to. Mick for 2, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. So this space is also, again, temporary, still being used, but not something that has to stay. This, however, is the edge of the main bus. So I just have to figure out, as far as access from the road up here, do we want this to be something that's at like this level, or do we want it to be something lower? I feel like this level would be a good place to start, and then I could potentially have other things down below. Or we could do a combination of both. Because in order to get that many iron ingots, we might have to use the wet iron recipe, which I think we have. Yeah, pure iron ingot. Water and iron ore makes 65 iron ingots, as opposed to a 1-to-1 in the smelter. And in a foundry, there are recipes. Alloy iron, which is copper, and that makes 40 to 75. This is just 30 to 30. So this is probably the better way to go. Oh, wait a minute. That's a lie. 40 to 75. 35 to 65. I think that's the better ratio. No, it's 53. And this is... That's close. 53. Yeah, it's just ever so slightly better to do that, although it's more power. 30 megawatts, 60 megawatts. And this uses copper, which is a precious resource compared to water, which is freaking everywhere. It's Makatu. Oh, is it Makatu? Oh, because the 4 is not meant to be read as a 4? Well, that's your fault. That's... I don't speak leet speak. But I can switch it to Makatu, that's fine. So how many bits of ore are we dealing with over here? This is a Mark II miner. I don't know that we want to take these to Mark III. I'm not sure if it's worth it. What's 300? 300. 300. This looks like copper. No, it's iron. 300 again. Another normal iron ore node. Are they all normal? Oh, the copper's over here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. $240. We've got 6 at 300. So that's 1800. 7.5. I don't know that we need more than that. We'd be making... Well, the reanimated SAM would be the other bottleneck. We'd be using all of our SAM. I don't necessarily want to do that. I don't think I need to add extra mining power there, although we can if possible, or if need be. And I think the thing to do might be to bring it all outside the base, and rather than going in the main bus, because there's no room, would be to set up some sort of entrance over here. And bring it all in this way. I don't remember what we've got for measurements over here. Oh, cool. Thanks. No, I can do Mikatu. That's fine. Moira, good to see you. So I figured we'd have maybe this back part open with the refineries. All of this is kind of just throwing me off. Now this is obviously here because it lines up with the wall down there, so I'll leave that. So this stuff is eventually going to have to go away. Which you should probably do now. These are all not making anything anymore. Yeah, I can clean this all up. I don't think I need to do these anymore. This is all temporary. Maybe a bit of a cleanup day, I think. Circuit boards. I don't actually have a bin for those yet, I don't think. Oh, no problem. No problem, Mikatu. So I'm not sure where all these things are going. There's probably dismantle crates around somewhere just piling up and I can't see them. What are these being made into? Automated wiring. And that's just going around into here, I guess? Oh, we got a few of those kicking around now. I think to move this stuff around, I might have to put down some temporary containers. There we go. Now I should be able to just dismantle all of this without any worry. Did anybody see that you can play Pokemon on Google right now? Like a sub game. If you search for a Pokemon, you can use like Google to like collect them and catch them and stuff. I completely missed the whole Pokemon craze, but I'm sure there's a lot of you that are 100% Pokemon enthusiasts. I think it's a neat concept. But I was too old by the time that Pokemon caught on. So I don't have the same nostalgia vibe I think that a lot of people do. Trying to be careful in here not to mess up anything. I'm gonna leave these belts because it's not hurting anybody, because they both have overflow protection. So all of this stuff just kind of keeps on going no matter what. So I'll leave those there in case we need to pull them in the future. So we've got a weird spot here where there's actually not a lot of room underneath here, so I may want to treat this floor like this height. Be a decent way to approach it. Although we've got refineries down here, and I decided to put the floor up here, so we could also do that, which could be fun too. And I want to give us enough room past here, so at least 2 blocks. I don't know what we need for width. All right, let's think about this. We'll need... This is actually going to be a different setup. I feel like the SAM ore. I need to assess whether I need to turn all the SAM into reanimated SAM. If I look at SAM, it just does the one thing. It turns into reanimated SAM. That's it. But reanimated SAM yeah, so we just need to make a lot of reanimated SAM. So we can take our full production line, which is 600 SAM, and start there. So there is our SAM. And that's going to go into the animated SAM. So we need 5 constructors for that. And then that is going to go into both Ficsite. Yeah, we don't want to do all of our Ficsite into ingots. I'll have to go into a splitter. Probably a priority splitter, actually. We will probably prioritize the SAM fluctuator. And then from there, we will do, we need to do Ficsite ingots. But I need that to not be 150. Can I limit? No. Could limit the part limit here maybe? 2.5, so maybe 50. $60. 90. And then we don't want to turn it all into Ficsite ingots. The purpose of this is to do Trigons. It's the only thing you can make. I don't need 67 Trigons a minute, I don't think. $40 Trigons a minute. 100 Trigons a minute. Okay, so we're getting into like the 200 zone. So that's only 22. So even with all of our current SAM, we'd have to just choose what we're going to do on site, I think. So shoot for 40. I'm not doing radioactive stuff. Yeah, maybe 40 to 45. We can do that with some summer sloops. Or we're doing 65. So that's good. That leaves us some extra SAM to do other things with. So we could balance that out. Mikatu says, I like Pokemon a lot. Kind of grew up with it, but I have not played in ages. I feel like I have too much to learn in school. Probably pick it up again after college, but I prefer to get back into my creative things. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is just like a browser game. Like a browser collect them all thing. This is going to be pure iron ingots. So we only need 290. This is going to be a normal Mark II 50. That math is not right. Well, I guess it's only taking what it needs. So looks like 9 refineries minimum. That's only one of those iron nodes, which is not nearly as much as I thought. We could also increase our SAM production here with summer sloops. At 150, 152? Doesn't make any sense. Sometimes this app is not really the best at explaining things. Blast, thanks very much for the lurk. Appreciate it. Yeah, adding summer sloop to that messes that up a lot. So I only need 2 of those if they're overclocked. But that means I can get this to 350. Why does it only go up by 0.2? Doesn't make any sense. Like, what's the point of adding this if the numbers don't do what they should? Because that means I can't do the math the way that I want. So it's pairing them up. That's the problem, I guess. Why does that? That doesn't make any sense either. So there's the 300. Why does it? Oh, this is going to limit somewhere. That's dumb. Why is it? Why is it switching this? Anybody in chat use this app before? I'm not sure why I'm losing. Maybe I have to reconnect it. It should be 240. Am I limited here now? That's probably what it is. Yeah, I do find it hard to work with too. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I find that that's the frustrating part, is that you can't really figure out why it's not doing what you want it to do. It looks like it's telling us that it needs more iron here to utilize the full 300 SAM. That's what the confusing part is. So then it's so now we've got too much iron, but now this is balanced at 60 and 240. So that was the issue. But it didn't tell you that. Like, I wish that that would like blink red or something. That's a lot of refineries. Like a lot of refineries. But it gets us a really solid output of Ficsite ingots, which is cool. All right, does that make sense to people? So the SAM and these guys are going to be really easy to do. That's only 2 of them? I can't believe that that's all it needs. Let's double check in game. $100 SAM per minute. Yeah, and if I tweak that up to the highest amount, then it's going to be quite a lot. Or I could just add a bunch of stuff. But the thing here is, if we overclock them, then we only need to use 2, and then we only have to use 2 simmer sloops. So it should be only 2 constructors. $300 in, $150 out. Yep. So that's really easy. And we do have the room for the refineries. And I should have the room for the power. Cool. Right on. It's a little bit early, but I am going to jump on and take a break here. Jump on the break train. Folks around have probably been used to this, but if you happen to be new, I take a break once an hour. It just gives me a chance to refresh my coffee, grab a stretch, and you all get to ride the break train. I will be right back. Alright. So I think we know that we only need 2 constructors for the SAM. I feel like we can probably make this look pretty cool. Thanks, Andy. Right. And if we were going to do 22 refineries, we'd have to put them on the first floor. Directory system-y things can go... That can go in there. One of these is empty. There we go. MindTripMedia with 100 bits. Thanks very much. Amon 7K, welcome in. Hello. I also need to find a better spot for that Caterium smelting. That is not, that wasn't moving, was it? The storage expands. Okay, so this is same height as that there. The space that we're dealing with could be larger than this, doesn't have to be here. So we would probably be dealing with refineries. And this would be under the floor. I'd want to give at least some space on either side. I feel like under the floor here is spaced out. Yeah, there's about a foundation and a half. Yeah. That feels about right. So then the other one would be like in this area. Okay. So it would probably be something like that. We needed 22, 24, give or take. And these take up 1.5 foundations. Amon says, I love the concept of this game, but I'm worried that because I don't like aesthetic design elements, it won't be fun. You can just do complete brute force factories. You can just put things in boxes and do efficiency. If anything, you'll probably have a much easier go rather than finicky bits that I have to deal with. So this is a little over, it's like a foundation and we'll call it 1.25. So 1.25 times 11, 12, let's call it 15. So that's how much space we need for all of the refineries. I think that's definitely doable. Leaves us lots of room for converters, of which there are 6. I think those could be on the main floor. I think that could work. The only thing I'm concerned about is where to start things at the back here, because I don't know what all this nonsense is, and I feel like I need to like do a quick count from the corner. I feel like this is meant to be a corner of the base somehow. Yeah. So much has changed about this game from a design perspective since I laid out the area. If you go back and find like my very, very first playthrough I'm on, then you will have no problems making ugly factories. My first factories were pretty gross looking. Okay, so this is just meant to be like a giant leg or something, if I wanted it to be that way. I would say this is the more important column here. We can just kind of expand where we want. So all the stuff to my left was just meant to be extra decoration. However, it looks like we've gone a little bit past that here. There's a center line somewhere up here. Alright, that's 21. 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 31. So if I go to here, I should be able to go to 31. Well, you look at that. Okay. All I really wanted to know was making sure that I was making this symmetrical. Oh yeah, it's changed a ton since update 5. Like a ton. Whoop, that is a hypertroop. That was weird. So the iron will have to be coming in on this side. And we need 755, so it's at least 2 belts. I could probably bring that in a couple of different ways. I wonder if it would be worth setting up like a small mini bus for the outside here. We do have the space for it. Nothing fancy, just something to be accessible. Rather than running it down the side of the building, I could stick it into the side here. Basically right down there. So the iron would come in from there. Water would come in from above, I guess. Doesn't need much water, it's only 450. Barely one pipe. And that would get funneled into the 6 converters. So I feel like this would end up being the middle space. Don't know what this used to be. This just goes to nowhere. So at this point we could go down into a floor, we could do whatever, but that's probably about where the entrance is going to be. And then we'll have 15 machines, no, 12 machines. So that's the outside wall, just a little bit of a buffer. Said it was about 15. Oops. So then we would have 6 of these. Oh, I need more parts. I don't know where the ceiling would be. We might try to do it the same as the aluminum. But then these guys, it's almost too bad that we can't have these somewhere as more visible. I'm not really worried about inputs and outputs right now. I'm just thinking about like where these things go together. Well, at least they're nice even 2 foundations by 2 foundations, so they're square. We'd probably want at least a little bit of room. So if you're a 2 by 2, let's go with a different color. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on both sides. Like that. And there's still room to put the constructors at the bottom here. I don't know if I necessarily want to even see them. We could hide them in something maybe. And they're doing like a SAM 4 thing. And then the output for this thing is going to be Trigons. I probably want that to happen in the middle. And it's going to be 180, so it's really straightforward. So I feel like we'd want to have the Trigon thing happening right there. So then we could have Sam coming in this way. I'm going to change the color of this. Trigons going out that way. So the SAM would come in here, get turned into a reanimated SAM, and then go down this way. Right, so if I've got customizer patterns. Yep. So Sam would come in this way and go down that way. And then we would have to have the iron coming out this way. And so that would go into the different machines. What am I missing here? Oh yeah, this does have 2 inputs. Is there any byproduct? There's no byproduct for Ficsite ingots. Okay. This has an output of a liquid. Oh, that's because it can turn this stuff into gas. Right. And I'm forgetting about time crystals. It just needs diamonds. What is the other one using to make? It's just making diamonds out of, or time crystals out of diamonds, right? Yeah. Nice. And I guess they're cool to look at, so we could have like a viewing platform up here. I'm missing some stuff. $100. Those are expensive. I don't know if I like that they're all jammed together, but we really don't have a ton of space. I might even lower that. So the output for these are going to be easy. These are going to be higher, I think, because we're going to extend the floor. Yeah, I think we all need to find more Mercer spheres. And I just want to see what 11 refineries look like. The output's on the right side. I do wish the game would not require you to build so many refineries. It seems it's really tedious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was pretty close. Maybe we'll give ourselves a little bit more extra space here. We could do something cool and hide the smokestacks. I like what I did over here. Although if the roof is that low, it might feel a little bit strange over here. Oh, it wasn't bad here. Do have the advantage of things being sent up. Two spaces. That could look kind of cool. I don't know if I want to get into putting all that different concrete mix and blocking them in, but I do feel like these don't look very good, so we might want to change this into some sort of shape or something to just like hide this a little bit. I mean, you're really not going to see it anyway. Or we could just have it in the wall. Right? Like we could just have the wall of this place go straight down from here. And this could just be in there. Come in like that. And then the output doesn't look all that fancy. We'd be able to see the Trigons. They'd be doing 180. We could have 2 belts maybe. I want to like showcase it and make it look cool. So these would probably end up having some sort of merger. And then we would turn it around and send it back the other way. So we would probably move that and space that out. Plus, I think the floor is going to be at this height. We would probably increase, like put the machines up high, and then they would have like a drop, like a send it under the floor vibe. And then maybe here we could put together something unique. The question is, do I need to do anything special with these as far as a refiner, like a blueprint goes? I'm assuming just a just an output and input. That should be all we need. I'm probably going to do 12 just because they fit so nice. And then we'll underclock them a little bit. Yeah, I like moving stuff under the floor too. I mean, I've been doing it all along, so I say I like it, but at the same time, there's part of me that wants more movement in my factories. And that would give us enough room under the floor. And then I would just have to come up with something else. That means the spacing for those is going to be pretty straightforward. All we will need is inputs. Is how much iron? 2 belts. So really it just needs, as far as input goes, it just needs a regular splitter. I would say there. And then maybe up here we'll have 2 belts coming back the other way. Like that. So our Trigons will be scooting along there. I'll probably do something cool with like lights or something. And then that would just go out to the main bus. feel like that works. I feel like I'm hiding some really cool machinery, like on the bottom floor of the base, but these refineries just need to be doing a lot, right? I feel like I might want to go with a slightly higher roof. We can still angle it down. I think we might have to start a little bit higher. And I don't know, we did a lot of like custom encasing over here. And it looks cool, but it made things a real pain in the butt. So if I can do something in a blueprint, that'll save a lot of time too. The problem is it has to tile. Try to make it look as spacey as we can. Essentially, I just wanted to, I remember I wanted to hide the, all like the ladders and stuff. That was the main purpose. Right, I remember that part too. Then it doesn't look all that much like a machine. Wonder if we can just hide the ladders with like a beam or something. Turns out, yes, we can. Almost. Like I almost want to hide the top part. This is fine. Yeah, something up around that height would work. Definitely some stuff that needs to get sorted out. I kind of want to get things rolling, but then at the same time, if I hamstring myself by putting in all the machines, then not really having a plan for decorating it later doesn't necessarily work. And this is just going to be outputting ingots, so this would only need a single merger. This could be one of those situations where we put in like a glass floor. Could be kind of cool to see things actually move around. So that could be fun. And I think I wanted a little bit more room. So we could... Probably going to look better if they're lined up. I think that's more, yeah, that's more room than I had before. Yeah, I feel like we could do some cool purple and yellow lighting or something. Be pretty wild. What do these look like when they're half buried? Okay, they're not the best. So for this, I might want to actually lower that a little bit. Yes and no. Does look a little bit strange. That's a little bit better. I think we can probably come up with some cool stuff. Power thing is going to be a pain, but we can probably just power them from below and not have to worry about it. The black is more like a void than a color. Yeah, that was the intention. Well, these are nothing fancy. I don't know if it's really worth doing a blueprint for them or whether we should just brute force it. It's pretty easy with the copy and paste these days. I guess the power thing would be a pain. To do the power for all of them is going to be a real issue. I'd probably want to do the power. I could just do it all underneath and have the power like go through the machine down somewheres. Although that's going to be tricky. I feel like the power on these ones is in the ceiling. Yeah. So if we're planning on covering up the top, doing the power up here is probably the better way to do it. I think we might have to go straight across on that top part. It's also going to be dark. I plan for lights. Yeah, I don't know whether to leave these refineries exposed or whether we should cut them off. Do I leave the lights exposed on this other side? I don't remember. Oh yeah, okay. So we basically cut it off around mid cylinder. Yeah, give or take. This is where the blueprinting would be very handy. I feel like we're missing half walls and half ramps and stuff like that. Mikatu, have a good one. Thanks very much for hanging out. Appreciate that you gotta go. But it has been fun. I have to go too. This is where I need to wrap things up.
Perhaps you enjoy the challenge of blindly stumbling through tasks in low visibility. Try not to walk off a cliff. Replacing pioneers is inconvenient.
Noted. Noted. We are going to pass you on to somebody else playing Satisfactory instead of walking off a cliff. Let me just see if Kibitz is live. Normally, nope, I guess they haven't started yet. Dune Awakening, it looks like. Oh yeah, I'm Kibitz is live. Cool. I will send you along to I'm Kibitz. They are a fantastic content creator. And they're Canadian. So enjoy the rest of your time with I'm Kibitz. And I will see you back here tomorrow for some Minecraft, as well as tomorrow morning for the Spawn Chunks patrons. We're going to be doing a monthly Minecraft hangout in our Discord. So if you're part of that community, check out that around 10 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 4 hours. You can follow me on social media, Joel Duggan, very easy to find, and check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan. It is the best way to support the stream. Keeps me streaming during the week like this, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. We have a lot to do in Satisfactory, but it'll have to wait until next week. So I will be back in Satisfactory on Tuesday. New podcasts available on Monday. Busy weekend as usual. So I will see you folks later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.